fishy folks, and happy Water Change Wednesday to you. In today's epic video, how to feed your guppy fry to make them grow. Now, even though I've done this video 3 or 4 times already in the past couple years, I get asked this question a lot, so I'm going to release another video kind of updated as to what I've been doing lately and the foods I've been using and how to make the guppy fry grow quick and also colorful and strong. So before we get started, you know the drill, guys. Go ahead and obliterate that subscription button if you haven't done so already. Gently tickle the notification bell. And of course, when we're done, check out michaelsfishroom.com. Maybe perhaps purchase some guppies and plecos. Alright, so feeding guppy fry. I feed primarily 3 different kinds of food. The first, and actually my favorite, is Cobalt Ultra Smartimia. Now, this is sort of a baby brine shrimp alternative. I feed it at least once a day. I try to feed a variety of food to all my fish, but especially tanks with really small guppy fry, like we're talking less than a week old, they get this at least twice a day, sometimes more from here. But let's talk about the ingredients. That's what's really impressive. Prawns, silkworm, whole corn, jumbo squid meal, dried kelp, dried seaweed, spinach, brewer's yeast. I mean, a lot of great stuff. I did say brewer's yeast as one of the ingredients. It's like 5th or 6th on the list. And all fish food needs some sort of binder. So if you see brewer's yeast or some other form of food, you're like, well, they don't eat that in the wild. Why is it in the fish food? It must be a filler. It's not a filler. It's a binder. There's a difference. The binder keeps the pellet or flake together. Anyway, the more important thing here is 42% crude protein, less than 3% moisture. I mean, this is really good stuff. I've showed this to you before. It's got prebiotics and probiotics. It floats and it sinks. What does that mean? Well, you drop, some of this dust in, and some of it will immediately sink, and some will sink more slowly, and some will float. It's fantastic for guppies. Also, if you have a tank with, like you're breeding for profit, and you have a tank dual purpose, guppies and plecos, like this guy, the things that sink, the guppy fry and the pleco fry will eat off the bottom, which is nice. The other thing I like to feed to some bigger guppy fry are just crushed up flake food, a good high quality flake food. I really like the Cobalt Ultra Flake line. I like this, and they have like a Discus Hans version I like, high protein, and the worm medley I have over there. But this is new for me, the Cobalt Ultra Color, 45% protein, only 5% moisture. The ingredients aren't as great as the Smartimia or some of their other ultra pellets. Salmon meal, wheat flour, soybean meal, and some other stuff. But I really like their flakes. I really like the worm medley flake, and so I'm trying this ultra color flake. Now what you do is you take the flake. What I do is I take the flake, I take the top off, like imagine this is the top, and I crush it into the top, and then I take the crushed flake, and as I'm putting it in the water, I'm crushing it again, so it's really, really small. And most guppy fry over a week old can eat that. Even the baby fry, if this is all you have, like you have fry and you're like, oh my god, what do I do? First of all, there's plenty for them to eat in the tank, assuming you have live plants. And if you have guppy fry surviving, you probably have some sort of plant in there. So they'll eat some of the microorganisms and other stuff off the plant, biofilm off the plant. That's what I'm trying to say. But if all you had was a good quality flake in stock and you weren't going to the store for a couple of days, just make it really fine. Some people use a mortar and pestle. It's a little overkill for me, especially with 55 tanks. So I just crush it in the lid and then I just drop it in. Now the other thing I like to feed is this Ocean Nutrition frozen Cyclops. I really like the Ocean Nutrition and San Francisco Bay brand frozen foods. I've tried other brands like Hikari I like too, but I really like the Ocean Nutrition stuff. Cyclops is pretty much the size of baby brine shrimp. It's just different. And it comes in these little packs with these little cubes, right? These little cubes like this. And so what I do is I take a bunch of cubes, I'll drop it in. This is what in the Northeast we call a deli cup. I don't know what you call it. This one had salsa in it. The salsa wasn't that good, actually. Pacifica Fresh Salsa, Homestyle, medium. Wasn't that good. If we're going to talk about salsa, my favorite salsa is the Paul Newman pineapple salsa. Sorry, off track, but we got to talk about food. So what I do is I'll take a bunch of these cubes and I'll drop them into the deli cup like this. And then I'll add some water. I use tap water. You can use tank water. Doesn't really matter. And then I let it defrost. And then I pour it into tanks that have fry in them. Now, you could drop whole cubes if you wanted to into a tank. I just have so many tanks that that would be really too much for me. But if you have, like in my 90-gallon, let me rephrase that, in my massive 90-gallon Mutt Guppy tank, I might drop 2 or 3 cubes in because I know that's going to get eaten. But, you know, in a 10-gallon with, you know, just one batch of fry, it's not going to get eaten fast enough. So the other thing that's nice about the frozen Cyclops is it also sinks. So that's right, double duty with the Pluckos again. Other things you can feed fry, I mean, there are other fry food out there. Hikari makes one, not a big fan. Northfin makes one, Fry Starter, that's pretty good. The other thing I like to feed my fry with is I take a nice clean peppermill. I bought one at Bed Bath & Beyond, used a 20% off coupon. I made sure there was one with nothing in it. Like sometimes they already come preloaded with pepper or salt. It's probably expired, so you'd have to throw it out anyway. But I just bought this. I think it was $5. I'll put a link to this in the description below to Amazon if you just want to grab one. I'll also have links to Super Cichlids where I get all my food from. Speaking of Super Cichlids, I know they're having a sale. Let's see. Spend $45, get free. No, spend $39, get free shipping. Spend $45, like if you add $45 to your cart, a pop-up will come up, and you get a free jar of food and maybe Chemi Pure and some other stuff. Check out supercichlids.com. You know I love Martin and Lisa. They're opening their store soon. It's going to be epic. It is definitely massive. The warehouse is legit massive, not just, you know, like massive. It's really massive. Anyway, back to food. So in here now is 6 mil Northfin Krill Pro. I bought the Krill Pro for Chewy. He doesn't like it. Imagine that. My flower horn doesn't like Northfin krill food. Okay. So I put it in the pepper mill, and then you just simply and drop it into each tank. Now, 55 tanks, this gets a little repetitive. You could buy an electric one, or that's in case you didn't hear it, or you just have 1 or 2 tanks and it's really easy. But what I like about this is I had cichlids for a little while. Like I had those cribs and I needed cichlid food for them. So I bought this ultra pellet cichlid, Super Cichlids, Cobalt. Great food again. All of their ultra pellet, Cobalt's ultra pellet has prawns, jumbo squid meal, dried spirulina. I mean, it all has great ingredients. 44% protein, 4% moisture, just a good food. Anyway, I don't have cichlids anymore, but I have this can left, right? I have some angels upstairs, but this is a pretty big jar for 3 angels. It does sink, so I will feed it to some plecos, but I can add this to the pepper mill. Like I can actually add it and mix them so they're getting a variety of food all at the same time. So that's pretty much how you feed fry to make them grow fast and healthy and strong. The other thing going along with that is you got to do water changes frequently, as you know I do, between 10 and 20% daily while I sleep through the auto water change system. And some people say you got to keep the tank clean. My water is perfect, but there's lots of mold. So the mold is another source of food for fry, especially pleco fry. They'll eat all the organic material that's breaking down. They'll start to eat that if there's no commercially based food. So, all right, fishy folks, that does it pretty much for how to feed guppy fry and make them grow fast. Hope you learned something. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. A new massive mutt guppy pond system update probably next week, and maybe a fish room tour coming up probably this weekend. So hope you guys enjoyed. Questions, comments below. Check out supercichlids.com. My boy Martin and his beautiful wife Lisa. See ya. Now, I did say brewer's yeast, not brewer's yeast. Brewer's yeast. I can't remember what they were called. That's what happens when you get old. Hi, fishy folks, and happy Water Change Wednesday to you. It is hot here in South Jersey. You don't care. Why do I always start like that? I don't know. I don't know. Boop! The notification bell. You could tickle it also. The notification bell likes both. And then when we're done, check out michaelsfishroom.com, where you can buy the very guppies we're going to be talking about and plecos that I breed in my fish room, and I can ship them right to you. So, without further ado,